Welcome back to the channel. In the last video we said that we were going to, well, I said that I was going to make the next video building the new engine, building the new block, putting the bottom end together for this car. And before we can do that, I need to steal some parts off of the current motor that, as you can see, I yanked out of this thing yesterday. So right off the bat, I'm gonna yank the transmission off of this thing and then get it up on the engine stand, start tearing it down. What I'm going to do next is get the wiring harness off of here and then continue. There you go. Nice. Usually that spills a bunch of oil. This is about as far as I'm gonna go with the block on this side. Let's move to the other side now. All right, now that we got the engine flipped around here, I wanted to stand it up straight because there's a lot of weight on this side now that all the accessories are gone. So I wanted to kind of balance that out, and that'll kind of take care of itself once we get the turbo and the manifold off. But just wanted to give a little bit of a closer look. This is the SPA twin scroll top mount cast manifold, divided exhaust housing, GFB EX44 44 mil gate. Cool little Speed Tech manifold. Sorry, wow. Speed Tech filter. Garrett GTX 3076. Yeah, let's get to tearing this down. Just like that. Now for the annoying part. All 24 of those manifold nuts. Not looking forward to this. Check out these nuts. And with that, the manifold is off. All right, so that does it for this side, the exhaust side of the engine. Gonna switch gears and focus on the front. Lower you guys down a little bit. If you're wondering why there's RTV here, this is an M54 thermostat. This is an M52 head. They have different sealing solutions. So you gotta double up on the sealing solutions to get this to not leak. Front of the engine is done. Got the water pump off, thermostat off, and I think that was it, whatever. I'm gonna switch gears again, move to the top of the engine, take the valve cover off, and yeah. This is a little heat shield that I made because my downpipe goes really close to the gasket right here. I know I didn't run this car for long, but that gasket looks to be in good shape still. It's not leaking, so looks like it did its job. Nice and clean underneath, as you can expect for a brand new valve cover. Overall, I'd say the engine looks decently clean. All the cam lobes look pretty good. Timing chain's still tight. Now, this motor did have low compression on cylinder 5, so I'm expecting to see some burnt up ringlands, something of that sort. I'm hoping it's not like a bent valve or anything. I don't think that would be the case, just because the engine was timed right and all that stuff. So anyways, what's next? I guess we start tearing apart the timing. Now, these spark plugs are actually out of my parts car / jig car. I threw away the spark plugs for some reason out of this engine when I compression tested it, and these are just junk plugs. I mean, that car didn't really even run, so. But I wanted to see how this sounded with the new exhaust that I made, and so I had to steal some spark plugs. Okay, this thing should be a little easier to turn over now with no compression. There we go. Just need to get it to top dead center, which we're coming up on. There. Perfect. believe the Vanos unit can come off now. I'm gonna take out the cams now. There's a specific sequence that you need to do. So you have to rotate the crank like, what would that be? 20-ish degrees after top dead center. And that way none of the pistons are up. So we have one, it's probably like, you know, an inch or so down. Same thing with 2, and then 3 and 4 should be way down. Then 5 and 6 should be right where 1 and 2 are. So we're good there. The pistons are all below the deck, and we can rotate the cams as we please. So the trick to this is to rotate this cam. So the first cam lobe for cylinder 1 is pointing towards me. So then cam lobe 2 is slightly this way, and then 4 is slightly this way. All of the other cam lobes are not contacting the valves, not pushing down. So I'm gonna have 2 this way, 4 this way, and that way the only pressure that's being pushed down onto the valves are cylinders 2 and 4. So then you can just zip off all the other cam caps and then go back to 2 and 4 and slowly do that. So I'm gonna do that now. So now all of our nuts are loose. We can go ahead and keep our cam caps, take our cam caps off. They're all labeled intake and exhaust. So, and then 1, 2, 3 through 7. So we don't need to worry about mixing them up. And we can lift up the cam. These cams have been in, well, this will be the 3rd motor that these cams have been in, and then I'm about to put them in a 4th. So I'm putting them to use, that's for sure. Not my smartest move. Oops. We're going to repeat that process for the other cam. Okay, at this point, we can take the head off. Don't forget these little, what are they? E8 bolts at the front. The moment of truth. There we go. I'm looking at cylinder 5 because that was the one with the super low compression. I don't think I see anything on the piston itself. That's where she goes. So I'm looking at cylinder 5 and it's not looking that great. I definitely see some up and down. I don't know if I want to call it scoring, but an area where the cross hatching is basically smoothed away. If I still have the picture, I'll put a picture of the cross hatching from when I honed these cylinders. It looked really good and that does not. So anyways, let's continue tearing this down. I'm gonna take the crank pulley off and timing cover so then I can take the oil pan off, oil pump and everything. Yeah.
The next day.
Yeah, Craftsman power, baby. Basically brand new timing chain, definitely saving that. Something else that I'll be saving on this engine is the oil pump chain tensioner. This is a stock chain tensioner off of an S54 and I basically retrofitted it to this block. There's another YouTuber, Spank Ranch Garage, and he basically gives you the dimensions of where to drill these holes, drill and tap for these shoulder bolts, and then basically just use the OEM tensioner. As you can see, it's doing its job, keeping slack out of that chain. Don't see anything concerning in the pan. I cut right to the chase and go to cylinder number 5, which is my low compression cylinder. course, I am curious about the condition of the bearing. Absolutely mint. Let's see, a bearing with 1,000 miles on it. Okay, the moment I've been waiting for. Maybe you've been waiting for it too. Probably not. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna try to keep it in focus, but it's kind of hard to tell, but there we go. Broken piston, ladies and gentlemen. Ringland has left the chat. Get out of there. Bummer. Well, good thing I got a shiny set of new pistons and rods. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this teardown video. As you can see, I've made quite the mess. There are parts everywhere. So I'm gonna get to cleaning some of that up, organizing it a little bit more. I don't think it's really necessary. I'm not even interested to tear down this block any further. I got everything I needed from it. So in the next video, you can expect me to begin building this block. Got the crank sitting there in the bag, the block, pistons, rods, and then yeah, everything else to go with it. But anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.